Good morning, everyone. I'm meteorologist James Olive with Dynamic Weather Agency LLC. Today, we're going to continue to talk about that storm system that pushed on through yesterday, bringing some snowfall to parts of the, Midwest and Great Lakes region, where we're still continuing to see some lake effect snow conditions on Lake Superior and Lake Michigan this morning. We'll start to see the development of some lake effect snow across parts of Lake Erie and Lake Ontario that will last for the next couple of days. Not only that, we'll also be taking a look at our next upcoming system. This Alberta Clipper system is going to be coming out of Canada, bring some snowfall across parts of the upper plains into the central plains. But first, before I get into today's video, I do want to encourage you guys to hit that like button down below and subscribe to our channel and share this video with your friends and family so we can help make them weather aware. Also, be sure to check us out on social media where you can send us your weather related photos and videos that we might share in our next video. The links to our social media pages can be found down below in the description. You can also visit us online at dynamicweatheragency.com for more weather related information and content. And at last but not least, be sure to check out our Patreon page. Help support this channel so I can continue to make weather-related content like this and storm chasing videos like you can see on our channel, along with funding some research we have here at Dynamic Weather Agency LLC. We have many different packages and tiers for you guys to choose from for our Patreon subscribers with, again, many perks and early access and exclusive... And at last but not least, be sure to check out our Patreon page and help support this channel so I can continue to make weather-related videos like this, along with some storm chasing content like you can see on our channel, along with funding some research we have here at Dynamic Weather Agency LLC. We have many different packages and tiers for you guys to choose from with many perks and exclusive content and early access for our Patreon subscribers. Again, the link can be found down below in the description. Now, as we take a look at our current National Doppler radar this morning, we do have a little bit of a disturbance moving through parts of the Northwest Territories regions. You can see some of the snowfall occurring across parts of the northern Rocky Mountain region. Again, some of that snow is staying mostly to those higher elevations across that area. Taking a look at the Midwest Great Lakes region, we do have some lake effect snow conditions still occurring across parts of the UP of Michigan and the lower peninsula of Michigan today. You can see that currently on the radar. And then we also have that disturbance, that big strong cold front moving on through, bringing some snow conditions to parts of the Northeast this morning and parts of Massachusetts, even into Vermont and New Hampshire, moving its way into parts of Maine. Further to the south and the south east and even parts of the mid-Atlantic, we do have some rain showers just along that cold front along that region. And then we got a little bit of a disturbance bringing some rain to parts of Louisiana and Texas this morning. So getting into today's video, today's headlines, today we're going to be talking about our forecast verification. We're going to be looking at our snowfall forecast chart that we issued yesterday for parts of the Midwest and Northeast, and we're going to be taking a look at how well that verified. Next, we'll be taking a look at our current National Weather Service hazards, those winter storm warnings, watches, and winter weather advisories. Next, we'll be taking a look at our winter storm severity index over the next couple of days. And then we'll be talking about our next winter storm system, along with those snow conditions that we could expect to see across parts of the Northeast with some of that lake effect snow on Lake Erie and Lake Ontario, along with some of that snow continuing to push across the Northeast today, and this little bit of disturbance that will affect parts of the Appalachian Mountain region and parts of the Northeast. After that, we'll be taking a look at the polar vortex and some frigid temperatures beginning to move on in. And at last but not least, we'll also be taking a look at any chances for severe weather. So you'll have to stay tuned for that. Now, getting into the forecast verification, taking a look, this is our forecast accumulated snowfall chart we issued yesterday for a 72-hour snowfall period. Take a look at parts of the, take a look at parts of Wisconsin, the UP of Michigan, Northern Illinois, and Indiana. Take a look at our snowfall forecast chart that we had issued yesterday for these areas. We had that area of 5 to 8 inches of snow. That's that light purple stretching across parts of the UP of Michigan, all the way into parts of eastern Iowa. We're expecting to see an area of 5 to 8 inches of snowfall. Further up in the UP of Michigan, we have that darker purple. That's that 8 to 12 inches of snow we're expecting across that area. As we take a look at parts of the lower peninsula of Michigan and along Lake Michigan, western parts of Michigan, you can see, again, we had that nice area, nice swath of basically what we were expecting of 3 to 5 inches of snow. And right along the coast, we had that area 5 to 8 in the light purple and an area of 8 to 12 in the dark purple. As you take a look at the 24-hour, forecasted accumulated snowfall analysis across that UP of Michigan, Wisconsin, even to parts of that northeastern portion of Iowa. Take a look at that. 5 to 8 inches of snow within that area as depicted as we had on our forecast chart. Take a look at the other portions of the UP of Michigan. You can see some of those more intense snowfall areas hitting those 12 to even about 16 inches of snow within that area. So we did rather well with our forecast along that area. Now, as you take a look at parts of the lower peninsula of Michigan along Lake Michigan, we had that area of 8 to 12 inches of snow. While that has not verified yet, you got to remember, this is for 24 hours and our forecast charts for 72 hours. We still have snow conditions still occurring across that area, as you saw on our current radar this morning. So we're still expected to hit those snow totals along that area and possibly even maybe move that snowfall total up into that 12 to 16 inch area with that later on today. Now, taking a look at our winter storms, first we're going to be taking a look at those current National Weather Service hazards we have out. Check out all those winter weather advisories in purple and those winter storm warnings in those pink colors. As we take a look at parts of the Great Lakes region, Midwest, Grand Rapids, Traverse City this morning, still within those winter storm warnings due to that lake effect snow within that region. As we take a look around that, we do still have some of those winter weather advisories affecting places like Flint, Detroit, Lansing, Kalamazoo, South Bend, Gary, Indiana, Chicago, Kankakee, Ottawa, Rockford, Davenport, Milwaukee, Green Bay, all this morning, still seeing some of those winter weather advisories within this area. As we move into parts of Lake Erie, Lake Ontario, we're talking about some lake effect snow conditions beginning to develop probably across that area. You can see some of those winter weather advisories, some purples across that region. And we also have one county over there in New York, that dark indigo blue color, just east of Watertown, within those winter storm watches, possibly because of some very heavy snow that could develop across Lake Ontario. Now, as we take a look at parts of the central United States, taking a look at parts of Nebraska, northern Kansas, we do have some winter weather advisories in effect for North Platte, Grand Island, and Omaha, just due to a small disturbance that could be moving on through that area, bringing some snow conditions to there. As we take a closer look towards the northwest, across parts of Washington state, you can see some of those winter weather advisories for parts of the Cascade Mountain region. And as we move a little bit further to the east, you can see some of those winter weather advisories, winter storm warnings for parts of the northern Rockies. So move into parts of Colorado, you can see this little sliver of orange right there for parts of the Rocky Mountain regions and parts of Colorado. You can see right there we have some blizzard conditions. Again, mostly refined to the higher elevations of the Rocky Mountain regions where some of the stronger winds are going to be. But again, most of these are going to be affecting parts of the higher elevations within this region. Taking a look at our winter storm severity index. So what components are used to come up with this index? First is taking a look at the snow amount. It's going to be looking at how much snow accumulation we could see and the rate at which snow is falling. It's also taking a look at the snow load. Is this going to be a wet, heavy snow, or is this going to be kind of a drier, thin, wispy type snow? It's also going to be looking at some wind components, the potential for some blowing snow, along with some visibility components for the potential for a ground blizzard with that blowing and drifting snow that we could see, along with the potential for surfaces to become ice covered and ice accumulation with that flash freeze and ice. Taking a look at our day one winter storm severity index west of the Rocky Mountain region. So minor to moderate impacts in Colorado and parts of the Rocky Mountains. There is some major impacts within that region. Again, this is mostly going to be confined to those higher elevations of those mountainous terrain regions. Taking a look across parts of Nebraska, some minor and moderate impacts with a small disturbance moving on through today. Midwest region, again, still mostly that stuff's going to be confined to the lakes region where we could see some lake effect snow on Lake Superior, Michigan, even a little bit on Lake Huron. Moving our way into parts of New York, you can see some of those minor, moderate, even major impacts for some lake effect snow on Lake Ontario and Lake Erie. Moving our way into day two in New York, again, those impacts are still going to be confined to Lake Ontario, Lake Erie, with some lake effect snow moving through that region. Taking a look at the Appalachian Mountain region, Midwest, you can see a disturbance moving on through that area, beginning to bring some snow conditions to that area. Further back in Nebraska, Kansas, Missouri, Iowa, again, that one disturbance is going to be bringing some snow conditions over there. And to the west, again, snow conditions mostly refined to those mountainous conditions within the northern Rockies and the Rocky Mountain region, again, across parts of Montana too. As we move into day three, again, not seeing much impacts in day three, some impacts across parts of Nebraska and further to the west and the northwest. Again, we're going to see some of those conditions affect parts of the mid-Atlantic region, even into parts of the northeast. Now, what do those minor and moderate impacts roughly equate to? Those minor impacts roughly equate to those NWS advisory level criteria, with minor disruptions to primarily those who are not prepared for any of these winter storms or storm systems moving on through. None to minimal recovery time is needed for these events, while those moderate impacts roughly equate to those NWS warning level criteria, those winter storm warnings that we could see. Along with this is causing some definite impacts to those with little preparation, perhaps a day or two recovery time for snow and ice accumulation to subside. Most of these events, we're not expecting any ice, but we are expecting to see some snowfall with these events. Now, taking a look at our futurecast Doppler radar again. Now, taking a look at the Pacific Northwest, we're going to see for majority of the time period, we're going to see these disturbances and some of this upper level moisture moving across the region. It's going to allow for snow conditions to continue across parts of the Cascades and the northern Rocky Mountain region. Across parts of the Great Lakes, Ohio Valley region today, Midwest, we're going to see lake effect snow conditions continue throughout the day today. Lake Superior and even Lake Michigan, with some lake effect snow conditions developing across Lake Erie and Lake Ontario as that low pressure system that's bringing snowfall to parts of New York, Vermont, New Hampshire, and Massachusetts this morning continues to move its way to the northeast, bringing some snow to parts of Maine. As we continue in through time, again, we're going to see that system move its way off to the north and to the east. And then with that snow occurring across parts of the northern Rockies, we're going to see this little bit of area of energy split off, bringing some of that snow conditions to parts of Nebraska and even to parts of northern Kansas, where we have some of those winter weather advisories currently in effect within that area. You can see some of that conditions occurring across parts of even western Iowa. Now, that area of energy in parts of Nebraska, Iowa, and northern Kansas is going to continue to move its way to the southwest, interacting with some of this moisture down here, where we're going to see this kind of development of this new low pressure system that's going to be developing and bringing some snow conditions to parts of the mid-Atlantic, becoming this kind of new nor'easter type storm system that's going to ride up the coast, potentially bring some snowfall to parts of the northeast. Again, taking a look at the west, across parts of Montana, Nebraska, you can see that next clipper system beginning to move its way on down through the region, bringing some snowfall again to Nebraska, Kansas, Iowa, and Missouri, across those areas that have those winter weather advisories currently in effect today for that first round of storm systems. And again, take a look at that nor'easter type storm system moving along across parts of the East Coast on Sunday. So we'll have to continue to watch and monitor the track of that low pressure system to see if this does what that last system did. The models were suggesting the storm system to remain mostly off the East Coast, but will it ride some type of thermal boundary along that region and stay closer to the coast, bring some more significant snowfall to the northeast? So that's something we're going to continue to monitor. Now, we don't see that as much with this system as we were pointing out on the last system, but still something to monitor and keep. So what are the weather models suggesting? Well, as we take a look at our European model, we can still see some of that lake effect snow across parts of the Great Lakes Midwest region, across parts of Michigan today, the UP of Michigan, the lower peninsula of Michigan. You can see some of those snow conditions still prevalent across that area, along with some lake effect snow across parts of Lake Erie and Lake Ontario. You can see where that disturbance could bring some snow conditions to parts of the mid-Atlantic. Take a look at some of the snowfall accumulations across that area. You can see some of those purples indicating some of those 6 to 8 inches of snow across that region. You also see some of that snowfall off the eastern coast right there, where this system could transition to another type of nor'easter type storm system. So we'll have to look for the potential for this to do what the models were showing during the last storm system that we noticed was kind of wrong. The models were projecting this winter storm to mostly be off the eastern coast, but we said in our videos about 4 or 5 days actually before the event that the storm system would actually take a shift more to the west and bring most of that snowfall to the northeast, which it actually ended up doing. So this is why you can't always trust your weather models, guys. Again, across parts of the northwest into the central plains, you can see where that Alberta Clipper system is going to begin to develop. That system moving out of Alberta, Canada, moving across Montana to Wyoming, even to parts of South Dakota, into Nebraska, into Iowa, and even into Missouri. So we'll have to watch that system too begin to develop. Taking a look at the GFS model. GFS model still showing some of those lake effect snow conditions beginning to continue today across parts of Lake Michigan, Lake Superior, Again, you can see where that disturbance is going to bring some of that snowfall to parts of the mid-Atlantic, potentially into the northeast. So we'll have to continue to watch that. Take a look at the northwest, even to the parts of the Central Plains. Again, you can see the Alberta Clipper system and some of the snowfall projected by the GFS model. So take a look at the UK Met. The UK Met is showing similar conditions to that GFS model. UK wasn't showing as much high snowfall across parts of Nebraska, while the GFS and UK Met is kind of projecting some more snowfall across that region. Again, you can see the UK Met showing some of that snow conditions across parts of the Great Lakes, and then again, even into parts of the Mid-Atlantic and Northeast. Take a look. This is kind of projecting that more western shift of that low pressure track as it becomes a nor'easter type storm system. Less snowfall across parts of the Mid-Atlantic, though. Now, taking a look at the Germany icon model, again, still lake effect snow conditions today across parts of Lake Superior, Lake Michigan, and the Great Lakes region. Still seeing some of that lake effect across parts of Lake Erie and Lake Ontario. More snowfall across the Mid-Atlantic compared to what the UK Met was showing, but again, a little bit more of a western shift of this low pressure track off the eastern coast. Again, you can see that Clipper system moving in across parts of the west into the Central Plains. Now, as we take a look at the National Weather Service's blend of models, take a look at this. Again, you can still see some of that significant snowfall we're expected to see again across parts of western Michigan, the UP of Michigan, still to continue today. You can see some of that snow conditions expected across parts of the Appalachian Mountain region. See some of those darker blues indicating possible 3 to 5 inches of snow confined within that area. Again, you can see some of that heavy snow across parts of the northwest United States. Take a look at those orange values indicating areas over 2 feet of snowfall in some of those higher elevations of the Cascades in the northern Rocky Mountain region. Again, you can see the Alberta Clipper system moving through Montana, Wyoming, South Dakota, into Nebraska, eventually into the Midwest. So we'll have to watch that next potential system begin to move its way on through. Now, as we take a look at our National Weather Service forecast for the next 66 hours, the 72-hour panel was not loading. Again, across parts of Lake Michigan, Lake Superior, you can see some of that significant snow accumulation is forecasted to continue across parts of that area today, even partially into parts tomorrow. Take a look at Lake Erie, Lake Ontario, with some of that lake effect snow. Those purples and pink values indicating basically 8 to 12 inches of snow, maybe even 15 inches of snow within some of those areas due to some of that lake effect enhancement. You can see they're starting to begin to paint some of that snowfall across parts of the Appalachian Mountain region, not as much as some of our weather models were showing across that area, or even across parts of the Northeast. But again, we can see across parts of the western United States and the central United States, that Alberta Clipper system, parts of Nebraska. You got to remember, we're expecting some snow and some disturbance to move through there today, with that Alberta Clipper system moving in a little bit later. So that's got some snowfall totals for 2 little systems moving on through. Taking a look at the European EPS probability for snowfall over 3 inches, you can see those areas, the Appalachian Mountain region, where we can see a good probability for snowfall over 3 inches. Those, kind of teal to yellow colors indicating about 50 to about 70% probability to see snowfall over 3 inches within that area. And then most of the other regions that you're seeing painted on here are in those oranges and red colors, indicating basically 80 to 100% chance to see snowfall over 3 inches over the next 72 hours. Now, taking a look at our forecasted cumulative snowfall for the next 72 hours, as we take a look across parts of, the Midwest, Lake Michigan, Lake Superior, take a look at some of that snowfall we're still expecting to see across this area, mostly confined to today and a little bit into tomorrow, but lake effect snow conditions are still going to continue. You can see we're expecting again another 5 to 8 inches of snow still to occur across that area, on top of some of that snowfall we already have begun to see. Take a look, you see some of that snowfall still expected across parts of the UP of Michigan. Taking a look at the Northeast is how much snowfall we're projected to see over the next 72 hours. Take a look at some of that lake effect snow on Lake Erie and Lake Ontario near Kingston, Buffalo, New York. Some of those areas and 8 to 12 inches of snow, while Kingston, that area, we have you depicted in a small area of 12 to 16 inches of snowfall across that area. You can see with some of this snowfall projected, you can see we have some of these areas of 5 to 8 inches of snow in some of those higher elevations in Vermont, New Hampshire, even parts of Maine. Most of the Northeast is within that 1 to 3 inches of snow projected over the next 72 hours. So take a look at parts of the central United States. Take a look at places like North Platte, Grand Island, within our 5 to 8 inches of snow. isolate areas in there that could see, some higher accumulations near 12 inches of snow within that region. But just take a look at some of the snowfall forecasted accumulations that were expected with kind of this clipper system that's going to begin to develop in that next major winter storm. So now getting into our polar vortex and some of these frigid temperatures we're expected to see, we can see there's a little bit of a dip beginning to develop in our Arctic oscillations. Our Arctic oscillations continuing to weaken, which is allowing the weakening of some of these upper level winds across the polar regions, which is allowing for some of that cold air to begin to spill and dip its way into the United States. We're beginning to see this with some of our 24-hour temperature changes. Take a look at some of these cold temperatures across parts of the Midwest and parts of the central United States and even the south central United States. So take a look at parts of the Midwest region. Take a look at some of these 24-hour temperature changes. Some places seeing 20 to even close to 30 degrees differences between what we were seeing yesterday around this time. Now, as we take a look at our futurecast temperatures, take a look at those cold temperatures spilling its way into parts of the northern plains, even into parts of the Midwest and central plains. You can see those, pink colors and even some of those type of purples, magentas, indicating some very cold temperatures where we can see some low temperatures between, negative 20 degrees Fahrenheit to even negative 30 degrees Fahrenheit. So those are going to be some very frigid temperatures. Now, as we take a look at our European ensemble 5-day temperature anomaly, parts of the Southwest is going to see above average temperatures, but majority of the United States is going to see well below average temperatures. Now take a look at the northern plains and the Midwest. Those below average temperatures hitting those purples and even bright pinks, negative 15 to 21 degrees Fahrenheit below average, with the max on this chart is negative 40.8. Now, that's probably for more places in Canada, but still 20-30 degrees below average, quite possible for some of these regions across here. Now, taking a look at our National Weather Service's forecasted high temperatures for February 7th, take a look at some of these temperatures. The single digits and even below zero temperatures expected across parts of the northern plains and Midwest, with a max value of negative 16 degrees Fahrenheit in some of these locations and parts of the northern plains and Midwest region. You can see some of those cold temperatures with this blast of Arctic air. You can see some of these squares right here. These are going to be record low maximum temperatures forecasted for some of these locations right here. So we could see some record-breaking temperatures. Now take a look at some of these low temperatures for Monday, February 8th. Temperatures of -1 to -30 degrees Fahrenheit. Those are some frigid temperatures expected for some of the forecasted lows by the National Weather Service. You can see some of these low temperatures, -27, 26, 22, with a maximum of -33.1 degrees Fahrenheit. So those are some very cold temperatures, again, with this push of Arctic air due to that weakening of our Arctic oscillation. Now, taking a look at severe weather on the brighter side of things, we're not expecting any severe weather over the next couple of days. With those cool temperatures, we're also going to see increasing stable conditions and lack of moisture across much of the United States, not allowing for any severe convective storms. Again, I would like to thank you guys for checking out today's video, and be sure to hit that like button down below and share this video with your friends and family so we can help, again, make them weather aware before the weather happens. If you haven't already, be sure to check us out on our social media pages and our website, dynamicweatheragency.com. Again, those links can be found down below in the description. I am meteorologist James Longworth with Dynamic Weather Agency, LLC, signing off for today. You guys have a great and wonderful day, and be sure to check us out tomorrow for our next video. Our video will be posted a little bit later tomorrow, as I am changing over to night shifts at my primary job, being a active duty weather forecaster for the United States Air Force. So I'll be switching up my sleep schedule. I'll be sleeping right when I get off at work in the morning, and I'll be posting videos a little bit later on in the afternoon so I can continue to make uploads like this. So thank you guys for your support, and thank you guys for understanding. Again, I'm meteorologist James Long signing off. You guys have a great day.